do you care what the ladies of The View say? Because that's kind of in your, not your personally, but it's in the left-wing ecosphere. And they are having a very negative reaction, I'm sorry to tell you, to Original Sin. They don't like your book, guys, and they don't appreciate that it's being published now. And I wonder,
have they read it?
Have they had you on? Have they invited you to come on to discuss it?
They have not. We have gone to them any number of times and said we would love to come on the show to discuss. They obviously were where President and First Lady Biden went for their pre-buttal of the book, right. And we thought it would only be fair to have us on. But The View and for that matter, Fox News seems to enjoy using our scoops, talking about everything we learned in the months of investigative journalism and what we're revealing in this book. But they're declining to have us on to discuss it, which is regrettable because I think this is an important thing for people to come to terms with when it comes to The View, or to explore in terms of the depth of what Alex and I have been able to find out in terms of Fox News. I will say that there is clearly a contingent of people on the left who want to bury their head in the sand on this issue and pretend it didn't happen and pretend that it's not part of the reason why Donald Trump and the Republicans control the White House and the House and the Senate, and why Democratic poll numbers are in the toilet. I think that is part of why Democrats are where they are, this gaslighting.
Mm-hmm. There was a
Megyn,
comment by David Axelrod that we should set aside the discussion of your book and the allegations in it because of the diagnosis news. Jake, do you disagree with David Axelrod?
Well, if I didn't, I don't think I'd be here. I mean, I think what happened to the country... I'm
pleased to hear you do.
I think we need to be discussing this. I think, obviously, we have sympathy for President Biden, both in terms of the prostate cancer and in terms of whatever other health issue he is grappling with. And we talked to many neurologists who you talk about how you were on a text chain with your producers the night of the debate. We talked to one of the top neurologists in the world who, is on a text chain with a number of other top neurologists. And they spent much of 2024 trying to figure out what was wrong with Joe Biden, whether it's Lewy body dementia or Parkinson's or something Parkinsonian, and they don't know. Then they're not qualified to say from a distance. But it's a serious question. And the larger issue of transparency and groupthink, questions for the Democratic Party and the public and the news media, these are all really important conversations to have. I don't think that our book is mean. I think it is just accurate and clear-eyed. And I think this is a conversation the country needs to have, not just about President Biden, but about all presidents.
It's like I tell my kids, it is not mean to say something that is true, but not necessarily complimentary. I mean, it's not, if it's true and you are not saying it with the intention to hurt somebody, it's not, quote, mean. They're not going to get away with that. Sorry, Alex, you wanted to weigh in. Go ahead.
I actually just wanted to say one more thing about the media coverage and this question, which is, when Jake came to me with this idea, on every beat, there are some suck-ups, there are some people that are lazy. But I never felt that Jake, even if he fell short on the age issue, I never felt he carried the water for the Biden people. And I hope your listeners who may be skeptical of Jake at least give the book a chance.
Yes, I don't think we've convinced them that Jake did not run cover for Joe Biden. I'm going to be honest, but I do think we may have convinced them to buy the book, which is the purpose of your visit here, and that's fine. I mean, it's a big media landscape. They don't have to watch the lead. They can take it for what it's worth. I do want to ask you one question about Naomi Biden before I let you go, guys. She weighed in. This is the former president's granddaughter. She called it a silly book. She says it's a political fairy smut. It is political fairy smut for the permanent professional chattering class. A bunch of unoriginal, uninspired lies written by irresponsible, self-promoting journalists out to make a quick buck, relying on unnamed anonymous sources, pushing a self-serving false narrative. Alex, care to take that on? I
mean, I think the book very much shows the Biden family is very tight-knit, and I wasn't surprised to see it. That being said, I think we stand completely behind our reporting.
All right. And Jake, I'll close with this. You've gotten so much blowback in the days that led up to today. You had to hire the crisis PR agent. How are you feeling so far? All right, whatever. But you've gotten a lot of blowback. So how are you feeling today?
I just want to. Yeah, telling the truth is always worth it. We hired Risa Heller because she's a political pro, and months ago.
Well, you had a PR agent through your publisher.
Yeah, and they're great, but this is a very controversial political book, and we felt like it needed the eyes of a smart political team in addition to the great publicists at Penguin.
I get it, but you're not denying that you've had massive blowback, are you? I mean, you've been under attack for days now.
Oh, the left and the right are mad.
Exactly.
The left is like, why are you covering this? That you should be covering Trump. Your book is full of lies. And the right is doing what you illustrated earlier with your tough questions. I will say this. People were shocked on June 27th, 2024, because there was, to a degree, a cover-up of how bad his decline had been. So even though many folks, including you, were covering this, it still was shocking what people saw on June 27th. And the only other point I'll say is I'm not disagreeing with the fact that conservatives were right on this and that people in the legacy media, including myself, should have been paying closer attention and more attention. I'm granting all of that. But the reason why I think there is interest in this book is because people want to know more beyond what they saw in front of the camera. They want to know how this happened. And I think that is what we provide through this deeply sourced, unflinching account of what really went on behind the scenes.
This July, speaking of resets, there's a global summit of BRICS nations in Rio. This bloc of emerging superpowers, including China, Russia, India, and Iran, are meeting with the goal of displacing the U.S. dollar as the global currency. They're calling this the Rio Reset. As BRICS nations push forward with their plans, some worry global demand for U.S. dollars will decrease, bringing down the value of dollars in your savings. While this transition will not happen overnight, the Rio Reset could mark a pivotal moment. So learn if diversifying your savings into gold is right for you. Birch Gold Group can help you move your hard-earned savings into a tax-sheltered IRA in precious metals. Claim your free info kit on gold by texting MK to the number 989898. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, let Birch Gold arm you with a free, no-obligation info kit on owning gold before July and the Rio Reset. Text MK to 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.